Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oscar,
Chaz,
we do our best to serve our audience, true?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. But there is one particular listener that's a little upset with us. We recently had Yom Kippur, the Jewish high holiday, and we did not even give it a mention.
Oh, no.
And there's one guy who is upset.
Man.
Please say hi to Mr.
better
Chicken
believe it.
Soup.
You better believe it. Yeah.
Jackie Mason.
How you doing, Rob?
Hey, Jack. Can I call you Jack?
Yeah, call me Jack. It's fine. I know you're a big fan. You're a big fan. You like this thing. You talk about everything. You get all sorts of. You got your big show coming up, your live show in Reno, Nevada, where you got the people coming on and the clip and all the thing, and then you come in and you do the thing. Cat 2014. I understand that. It's a cheap way to plug it, but you didn't talk about the holiest day of the year for the Jewish people. The central themes, atonement. We did that. Yom Kippur. You don't even make mention of that. I don't understand. We had a fabulous weekend. It's one of the high holidays, and what's wrong with you? You're just full of crap.
It's the highest of the high holidays, and I think that
Yes.
we blew it by not mentioning it. My apologies. I should have toned.
It's not fair.
I should have
Why
toned
are
for
you
not
playing that?
mentioning it.
Why are you playing that stereotypical damn music there? Turn that crap off.
It's
I
a
don't understand
celebration of your people.
How
that.
dare we?
I
How
listen to your
dare
show.
we?
You're very talented boys. You seem to do a good job. You really have a great time. You have a good time when you're talking to everybody. I understand that. You don't talk enough about Israel, but that's all right. It doesn't bother me to book with you.
Jackie, I'll call you Jack. How was your Yom Kippur?
Oh, fantastic. We had the whole family around. It's 25 hours. 25 hours of fasting and intensive prayer, where we just sit there and, it's painful. It's painful. You atone for all your sins. You think about what you've done throughout the years. You think about what you've done throughout the last year. You think about all the things that you've done with people, and then you just get together, and afterwards you go to the services in the synagogue, and it's fun, and it's joy, and great, and the big.
It seems to me that 25 hours is a very slow fast.
It's a slow fast. I'll tell you. I said, what's that? Who's that? Who's that? That's my stomach. I'm verklempt. My stomach is growling so much it sounds like I got a tiny little tiger. It sounds like a tiny little tiger in the stomach.
How's your...
Tiger's a kind of cat.
Do you keep your construction company, Tartunian Construction, and your gas station open?
Oh,
You're talking about Caddyshack too.
and the jerk.
Yeah.
The jerk and
Mr.
Caddyshack too.
Artunian.
You like that role? That's one of my better roles.
My
yes.
favorite.
Mr. Artunian. There we go.
Turn the country club into a putt-putt.
I just let me just
putt-putts.
if I can relay a little story.
Oh, I love when you tell a story.
I'm walking by the Carnegie Deli.
Hold it. Say it again.
I'm walking by the Carnegie Deli.
Oh, okay. He's walking by the Carnegie Deli.
There, if you'd like to translate, that's fine.
Well, only when I think it's necessary. Sometimes on Honey Boo Boo. Do you look at Honey Boo Boo?
Who the Honey Boo Boo? What are you talking Boo Boo? They
It's a
played
show
it.
on cable.
Sometimes on the Honey Boo Boo, even though they're speaking English.
No, I watched the Israeli channel. It's Honey Bagel.
Honey Bagel.
That's what I watch.
Well, on Honey
Bagel.
Boo Boo,
That's a
sometimes
joke.
they
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
do.
Q, where's your life back? Yeah, thank you. I watch Honey Bagel. Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes they put up subtitles only when it's necessary.
And I also watch that fabulous show, Deadliest Knish. yeah, that's right. Rowan and Lotke's laughing. There you go, all those fabulous things. There we go. I remember Mama. Good stuff. Yeah, but anyway, so I'm walking down with the Carnegie Deli, and this big guy, he's the size of a mountain. He comes up to me and says, Mr. Mason, I've seen every show you've ever done. I said, what's your name? He says, my name is Rob Spiewak. I said, well, I'm so glad you're happy about this, that I make you hippie. If I make somebody hippie for just a second, that's a fantastic thing to do.
Well, I appreciate you were very nice when I met you, but ever so pasty.
Pasty white.
Yeah, you were very pale. Very
From
pale.
years of living in New York City in a one-bedroom apartment with a hot plate, never seen the sun,
you live in
and blackout curtains. I picture the apartment. I live in has no light whatsoever in
Like
it.
a hovel.
Yeah, and
Well, you're taking care of your skin.
Yeah, and you come in and it smells like liver and onion.
Yeah, well, your
that's
skin
what
is
yeah.
milky white, and we
Milky
never mix
white.
that with meat.
That's right. Yeah, but on behalf of the Jewish people, can I say Happy Yom Kippur belated?
Please.
Please.
Belated Happy Yom Kippur. That's
Or
what I
maybe
wanted
just
to
early
say.
for
Belated.
next year.
early for next year. Hey, we're a year early. You're smart guys, Spiewak. That's fantastic. And Santana, are there any Jews in Bolivia?
I know, really. But there are in Hollywood, I'll tell you that.
Well, I know there's some in Argentina, but we don't want to open up that can of worms, if you know what I'm talking about.
It's the Michael Mara Show. You can listen to the Michael Mara Show at www.michaelmarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Michael Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
All right, look, pay attention, everybody. Wadsworth, am I right in thinking there is nobody else in this house?
No.
Then there is someone else in this house.
No, sorry. I said no, meaning yes.
No meaning yes? Look, I want a straight answer. Is there someone else or isn't there? Yes or no?
No.
No, there is or no, there isn't?
Yes.
Please!
Well, there is still some confusion as to whether or not there's anybody else in this house.
I told you there isn't.
There isn't any confusion or there isn't anybody else?
Either. Or both.
Just give me a clear answer.
Certainly. What was the question?
Is there anybody else in the house?
No!
That's what he says. But does he know? I suggest we handle this in proper military fashion. We split up and search the house.
Suppose that one of us is the murderer. If we split up into pairs, whichever one of us is left with the killer might get killed.
Then we would have discovered who the murderer is.
But the other half of the pair would be dead!
This is war, Peacock. Casualties are inevitable. You cannot make an omelet without breaking eggs. Every cook will tell you that.
But look what happened to the cook!
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Don't need any help from me, sir.
That's right.
It's the Michael Mara Show. Michael Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are live from the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios and heard worldwide. This is the Mike O'Barra Show. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 25.5 million downloads. Heard daily at MikeO'MaraShow.com and exclusively over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the heartland. Go Hawks!
Mike, I hold in my hand the last envelope.
Yay!
And on that envelope, we want to say hi to a freshman from Sugar Grove, Illinois at wide receiver, number 86, Brandon Bishop.
I have to say that I'm just a little sad that the wonderful idea we had about acknowledging other athletic sports
I
was
know.
ruined
Well, we didn't
by Oscar
anticipate-
Santana.
Well, volleyball was ruined, but there are other sports.
Yes, there are. Look at
That
his.
ladies
I
play.
can see the gleam
Lady Hawks.
in his.
Hawkeyes,
Mike,
whatever.
no one anticipated that he would run into the
Whatever.
Twitterverse and
Lady
grab
Hawks.
his junk. And
The
that's
Lady
really
Hawks.
what happened.
You know what?
The
Send
basketball
your
team's pretty strong.
Send your nominees for Oscar's Lady Hawks.
Please.
Yes.
Maybe I can get the
sirree.
music from that movie Lady Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we can play it.
The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily podcast and radio show with the greatest listeners on the planet. Why?
Lady Hawks.
Because
Big
they
fan.
get it.
Big fan.
It's a lady.
Mr. Santana is no longer allowed to speak about women's athletics at the University of
Hey, I'm all about it, man.
I know you
There
are.
you go. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Guess who was in the money in
Hey,
three
look
different
at you.
leagues?
Look at you.
Thank you, Russell Wilson. Sorry, Redskins, your expense, but Russell Wilson, who ran for the most yards, rushing yards for a quarterback in Monday Night Football history, was happened to be my starting quarterback.
Hey, look
Sorry
at
about
you.
that.
Yeah.
But I also had Pierre Garçon. He didn't do anything,
Yeah, oh la la.
unfortunately. And another sad night. Did you go to the game last night, Oscar?
You know what? I gave my tickets to Drab T-shirt for his birthday. He's a big Seahawks fan.
Oh, because
That's
he's a
right.
Seattle
yeah,
dude.
he went. He had a blast apparently.
Don't
so
worry,
I'll find
Oscar.
out.
Right now, the weather's just getting good. The best games are ahead of you.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you that's the worst money I've ever spent on those tickets.
Okay, well, anyway, it's been a tough year for fantasy football players. That's an entire segment. If you get stuck with the rotten pick, it's the worst. But I never worry about that because FanDuel lets you start every single week. At FanDuel.com, you can start fresh, just like
Reset,
Rofo and I
baby.
Yes.
started fresh this week, and leave all your problems behind. If you have a team you didn't like this week, do it again next week
Right.
at FanDuel.com. Joe Watson of New York, he played for less than 2 weeks last season and won over $30,000 at FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com has no season-long commitment, no upfront fees. Entry fee fees start at just $1, and the money is absolutely real. FanDuel is paying out more than $10 million every single week this NFL season, so get started today and win. Now listen to this. This is the important part.
Right.
Just click the microphone in the upper right-hand corner and use the code TMOS. The first 50 to use that code TMOS will get their deposit matched up to $200. This offer ends soon. FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com. Sign up today. And now I gotta, because I'm thinking about it right now.
What's that?
Worst
No problem.
funny. I was sitting there. I settled in to watch the beloved Burgundy and Gold take on the Seattle Seahawks.
Right.
And I immediately went, "Oh, it's not in Seattle," because I don't pay attention now that I'm down here. I said, "It's at FedEx."
Right.
But I wonder if
okay.
Oscar's there.
Yeah.
And then it's so funny you mentioned Drab. At the end of the game, I watched the post game that they were doing with Ray Lewis, and I think they've got
Rich Eisen?
Dilfer, and they've got they just had a bunch of these guys stand
Frank
up.
Gifford?
And they had they brought Russell Wilson out, and they had a vocal group of Seattle fans, and I paused it because it was like late. The stadium was completely empty, and they were all going, "Roo, roo, roo." And I said, "That's got to be Drab up there."
He
in
could have been
Seattle.
there. Apparently, his move was because he produces the morning show.
Yep.
The Junkies in the Morning here in the D.C. area, and he does Big O and Dukes. But more importantly, he produces the morning show because that pays his bills.
Sure enough.
And he said, "How are you going to get home and get back?" And he said, "I'm just going to go and sleep at the radio station and then produce the morning show."
Because he's right there in Lanham.
Yes.
He could walk. He
That
probably
makes
saved a
sense.
fortune on parking.
Yeah, I'm at. No, I give him a parking pass. He's good to go.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I'm a good man.
Johnny
You know,
Generosity.
there was a
Generosity.
time in my morning show career where I used to sleep very close to the radio station after a weeknight activity.
That's the move, though.
That is a
Yeah, it
great
is the
move.
move.
I do
That's the move.
remember when we were out taking pictures for the live show at the State Theater. We
Yes.
were very disappointed that the Roy Rogers was gone. That
Yes.
was across the. Was that across George Mason?
I think it was. It was across the street. Maybe that was George Mason.
Because I think it's George Mason and Lee Highway.
Yeah, it
And
was
the-
George Mason, and they had a beautiful, delicious Roy Rogers restaurant there. Well, we had a couple of wedding receptions.
And a lot of times
It
you
was
would,
great.
if it got to that sort of gray area of whether or not he should head home or go to the station, he'd go
Yes.
to the Roy Rogers parking lot and sack
That's
out.
the call you make. He got tickets to go see his beloved team. I knew his birthday was in August, if I remember, and I knew that the entire time he was looking for tickets. And I said, "Why don't you go?
Outstanding.
You'll enjoy it." It's
Are
a
you going
Monday
to go
night.
to any games this year?
I've been to one game. So if you're doing math at home, if this is the only one game I've gone to, and if you split the tickets in half, each one of them are a little over $1,500. Yeah, that's how great this.
He loves the
investment
event.
has been.
He
Now,
loves
hold
the
on.
event.
Was there any part of you that was thinking about the fact that if they went on a run, if they rattled off like 4
Could I
wins in a
sell
row,
the tickets?
that-
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
He was
I
thinking
actually-
that, Mike,
thinking about
as he
that,
got
too.
off the boat in
I
1978.
thought about that
He was
yesterday.
thinking about that.
I actually went on StubHub and I said, "Wait a second. If I wasn't such a nice guy and I was going to sell these tickets, what would they go for?"
Yeah.
The key is when you have a losing product, they don't go for much.
Right now, Mike,
They
on
don't.
StubHub.
No, that's the
No.
whole deal.
On StubHub right now, they are actually using the Redskins tickets so that in the envelope it doesn't bend to ruin the tickets that you want. It's like a little cardboard reinforcement that they put in there.
I look at those season tickets, and when I got them, don't get me wrong, and thank you to Richard, your neighbor, who was so kind to give me this opportunity.
It sounds pretty sincere.
And I got the tickets, and I was like, "Oh, this is what people talk about." And I'm really going to get into this. Now, in my defense, I would have gone more games, but business called, and I had
True
to go
enough.
to Los Angeles a couple times, missed a couple games there. Luckily, I was able to find guys that we have supported the show and love and respect to give the tickets to, so
Right.
that's been great.
All the tickets
And
have gone used.
But it comes down to this, especially
Yes.
in the NFL and especially in the regular season. It comes down to winning. If your team is winning, not only if
yeah.
you do sell the tickets, will you get a better value
Yeah.
for them, but you will probably be more motivated because it becomes the talk of the town.
Yeah.
I spent enough time in D.C. where when our burgundy and gold, and that's what I call them in place of the other name that I'm honoring the protest.
Oh,
Thank you.
nice.
So I'm trying.
Woo, that's 2 for
I'm
2.
trying very, very hard not to use
Yeah.
the name because I believe in I support the people that are protesting the name. So
The three
that's the way.
people.
No, they're more than that.
You know, I'm
They're
a
more than
Redskins
that.
guy.
I know
that.
you are. You line up on that.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Well, he's,
So
not,
anyway,
he's not anything, guy, as while the Nats are still in it, because that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
event.
Nats, baby, they
That's the
won.
event he's part
I
of
can't
now.
get tickets for that
Congratulations.
game for anything.
I spotlighted the Nats when they about Barb and Chuck Moody going to the 18-inning game, and now I can tell you congratulations to the Nats flying all the way across the country and winning in San Francisco. I think that's terrific, and this is because San Francisco came from 2 games down in a division series that they're probably thinking a little bit right now about, ooh, boy, we don't want to blow it.
It's not impossible.
No, not at all. Not by a long shot.
They have taken 3 away straight from the Giants in the past, so they can do it.
It could happen. It could happen, but it's funny because one of the only season tickets I have, I'll tell you exactly what I have down. I have Red Sox tickets for spring training,
right?
Because they are so cheap compared to other sporting events, and I was able to get season tickets, and I'm very excited about that. But there is another sport that, as early as not this weekend, but next weekend, Carla and we're not going to get season tickets, but we're going to go to a number of games, and this is going to be my major league team down here in South Florida. Go ahead.
Is it Highlight?
No, it is not Highlight, but it is ice hockey, and I am going to be a huge fan.
It's going to have to be an indoor game, Mike, because the rink will melt.
It's not like all the other cities that have outdoor. I forgot what we talked to you about sports.
No, because they do the Winter Classic, and that's
well, they do one game where they put in a cold city that they put the ice
That's right.
down.
Well, I don't think Tampa is betting on that.
Isn't this a great name for the team? The Florida Everblades.
Is that a minor league team?
Yeah, it's a minor league.
I get it.
Come on, it's fun.
You're better than minor league.
Oscar, what began as a typographical error on some stationery has become a sports franchise. It used to be the Everglades, but they said Everblades.
Mike, when you were in Manassas,
Everblades, it's great. They got a great gator logo. We don't have interns today, but you guys could look up the logo.
When you were
it's beautiful.
in Manassas, you never were a Potomac Nationals fan.
No, I never went down there and saw that. Well, we had Major League Baseball.
You're better than the minor league.
Mike would go to the
Oscar.
minor league ballpark when he'd sing.
The Florida.
You jerk.
Oh, Canada. Oscar, the stadium, the arena for the Everblades, I could practically walk to it. It's that convenient, and it's minor league hockey, which means it's rough and tumble. Yeah. They bang bodies. You get guys on the way up and guys on the way back down.
I know why Carla wants to go.
I bet, hey.
These young 20-somethings.
Yeah, of course. That's why she wants
well, no,
to
she
go.
might actually, judging on her past behavior, maybe she's after the older guys.
Yeah, she wants to go.
Coach.
She wants to go to see the Florida Everblades the same way she wants to go see Gone Girl. I just think it's a really, really good story. I think it's a good story.
Is that their big ticket promotion? The Florida Everblades Peanuts Night.
I mean,
every single person, man or woman, gets a picture taken with the Florida Everblades.
A great logo. I'll give you that, Mike.
Isn't that a cool logo?
They look angry.
Isn't that a cool logo?
Pretty good.
It's a lot of fun. I just want to see. I want to see Gone Girl because it's a good story. I really, really do. Oh, Ben. Oh, Ben, in your package, Ben. Ben Affleck. Oh, my God. Ben and your stubble. I want to see your stubble, Ben.
You've moved on to a different topic, I hope.
No, I haven't. Anyway, it's so that's.
I had a moment, speaking of Gone Girl. My brother and sister came in for a wedding this past weekend, and I saw.
Thank God they're finally getting married.
Yeah, well, my brother and sister-in-law, I guess that would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back Sunday evening for an early. My mom's birthday is next weekend, but it's an early birthday dinner with them. And
this is Maurizio and Xaviero.
Yeah, yeah. And he
very good. Mike.
She says, "Hey, we saw Gone Girl," and that's his wife, right?
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, what's and it's so awkward." I said, "What's Ben Affleck's hog like?" And this is the anesthesiologist, and I forgot that, hey, we're not that good of friends. And then it was like an awkward pause.
Is this the Boston wife?
Yeah, it's the Boston, and my brother didn't really
This
think
is
it was funny
Jose's
either.
wife.
If he was alone, he would have laughed at that.
Sure.
But she wasn't laughing. So he wasn't laughing.
So you got no answer?
No, it was like they changed the subject quickly, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, well,
okay, what
not
is
my
it?
audience.
She's a
not my
doctor.
audience.
She's seen dozens.
If you're going to go to the movies this week, is it Gone Girl or what's the one with Robert Duvall and Robert Downey Jr.? That looks so good.
The Judge?
The Judge.
The Judge.
I don't
Which
know.
do you-
I'm
which
going to
do
go
you
see the Haunted Doll movie.
Yeah. Annabelle! Annabelle!
The Judge.
Yeah, Annabelle, I got to tell you. You know something? Annabelle, get the truck, Elizabeth. Get the truck.
Get the truck. We're going to see Annabelle.
I like to die.
Annabelle's sure scary.
I like to die. That
I
dog.
like to fall out. I like to fall out. It's so much fun. I enjoy that all the time.
I've seen that movie. It beat all. It beat all. You know that? That
Yes,
dog
it
turned
did.
into a woman and back to a little girl and then to a
That's
doll
right.
again.
And you'd be sitting in the audience, and it would be there'd be a scary moment, and at some theaters across the country, there is some family that's back there going,
Hey, Annabelle, stay out of that room. She's going to kill everybody. If you put Annabelle in that room, it's going to kill everybody.
Those
Annabelle's
dolls,
scary.
little porcelain dolls, creep me out though.
That's right. Well, Oscar, if little porcelain dolls creep you out, don't go see Annabelle. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You don't want to go see Annabelle. It's scary, scary,
They can
scary.
come to
All
life.
you got to do is drop the doll. It breaks it. You
Steal
break
your
that
soul.
haunted doll, it can't kill you no way.
If I had Annabelle in my house, I would not even send my dog into that living room with Annabelle in there.
My
'cause
dog
she
Blue.
would- My dog Blue. my dog Blue. My dog Blue Cephas. My dog Blue Cephas. If there was Annabelle in the house, he would die. I guarantee you that. Yeah.
Annabelle. Annabelle.
Here's the thing about Annabelle. You can't even kill Annabelle. You can't kill Annabelle at all. You can put Annabelle underground. You can put Annabelle.
yeah.
If you had a swimming hole in the back of your house, you couldn't
It's
even
like
put Annabelle
it's like
in
child's
that.
play on steroids.
You mean you hold Annabelle under the water in your swimming hole?
I would love to go to the movies this weekend. We don't have our babysitter, so we can't. But I would love to have. I'd love to stand in the theater, like it's going to be a big theater weekend. It's October. Fall is here. People are starting to line up. I would love to just stand in the line and go, "Who's going to see Annabelle?" We got Gone Girl, great movie. We got The Judge, Robert Downey Jr. Who's going to see Annabelle? The number
Haunted
2 movie
doll
in the
movie.
haunted doll movie, scary haunted doll. Yes, to me, Annabelle.
Number one movie in the country.
That's right.
Jesus.
We are bright. We are bright.
I'm gonna go see Annabelle the night before I don't vote.
I do miss. Well, I only saw one of them in the theaters. I do miss the Saw franchise.
Now
Every Halloween.
Now the thing
There'd
here's
be a new
if
Saw.
you want to know the reason I'm joking about Annabelle is
Annabelle.
The Conjuring. The Conjuring, which I saw in theaters.
Horrifying.
I thought The Conjuring was a wonderful movie because they actually put the Annabelle doll was just part of it.
Right.
It was just part of the equation, right?
Right.
But now that they have taken the franchise and the only way they are hurling this hey, they're successful, got to give them credit.
Sure.
Is to put the scary doll Annabelle in there.
Well, you know what?
That's the way to do it.
Annabelle is like Fonzie. When they started Happy Days, Fonzie was just a little character, but he became the whole show. So Annabelle is Fonzie, and they're going to give the haunted doll its own movie. Now Annabelle? That's a prequel to The Conjuring, right?
I don't know.
So
What's
I
a
think
prequel?
what's gonna happen-
Where's the prequel at? Where's the prequel at? Where is the prequel at? I don't know what a prequel is. A prequel? That's an agreement you sign with somebody you get married to. I'm not gonna get hitched without a prequel. That's for sure. Hey, you know what I bet's gonna happen for sure in the movie Annabelle?
What's that?
Be real quiet now.
It's quiet.
Somebody's gonna look under a bed.
Also,
There's scary Annabelle under the bed. She's gonna pull me under the bed. Oh my God.
have you ever thought about how exposed your shins are to butcher knives?
Sure. Well, that's why I think we're all afraid of that. That's why those little
You don't
what was the
see
little-
them coming.
Was it Puppet Master where they had all the little toys
Yeah.
that
or
would
Chucky.
kill things?
Chucky would always get you right below the knee.
Hey, I'd like to speak to the American moviegoer for a second. Is he still there, Mike? The guy that's going to see the haunted doll movie?
You mean Annabelle?
Yeah.
Oh, you bet I am. I'm right here. How you doing?
Hey,
Nice to see you.
American moviegoer, I have a question for you.
Hello.
If Annabelle goes well, do you think Annabelle should have a TV show?
Oh man, I watch it every single Friday night. I watch Annabelle, the TV series. Yes,
On the
sirree.
WB?
Yeah, Annabelle. Oscar, my love of horror movies, though. Seriously, you mentioned the Saw franchise. The Saw franchise. I thought that held up a little bit. The first one was
formula.
super scary.
It was a good
Yeah.
formula.
40
But it
Ways to
actually didn't it usher in the most horrific violence
Oh,
of
super graphic, yeah.
any horror movies. Of course, you go back to my day, Friday the 13th, where you see the lady in the hammock,
Yeah, but
and
that's
she gets
that's
the
really
arrow
sort of.
At least you
heart.
got great nudity in those movies.
That's right. And
Oh, you
remember,
did.
it's
There's
explained.
always some girl running topless.
It's explained in the Scream movies that the first girl to get nude is always going to get murdered.
True.
And that was how they used to plan it. That's how they planned it.
100%. And I also, what was the other one? Hostel. Now, those were nasty. Hostel, the Hostel franchise was a nasty franchise as well. But none of them will compete with Annabelle, as far as I'm concerned.
How do you
I
think
don't know, though,
Annabelle would stack up against Dolphin Tale 2?
Oh, now. Okay, now hold on. Now you know what? Now you're in my wheelhouse.
Tell me about it.
I didn't tell you this, but I was sitting in the theater, and I had a couple of I got a little cloudy.
Sure.
I got a little cloudy when Harry Connick Jr. came out, and they were, trying to nurse the fish back to life, and they, one of them dies, and then they have to.
Oh,
they might have to get
spoiler
rid of
alert!
the other
Thanks
one.
a lot.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. You think it's too soon?
Do you think it would be great if they could somehow put both movies together? And the haunted doll was actually turned into a dolphin's tail, and the dolphin could swim.
Boy, that'd be the greatest movie in the history of mankind.
Tell me about
Annabelle. Annabelle visits the marine park. It's like, look at that little dolphin swimming around with a funky, bad, diseased tail. Sorry about that. Who's swimming next to him? It's Annabelle! Oh my God! All right, enough. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about Ebola, because that's what we're scared about, along with Annabelle on the Mike O'Mara Show. But before that, we've got Oscar Santana with a few words about the charity Hockey Classic.
Gentlemen, yes, the 6th annual Charity Hockey Classic is back. It's Saturday, October 25th, and it's at the Kettler Capitals Iceplex in Arlington, Virginia. We've done it before. What a great cause. The doors open at 11:30 a.m., and it's going to be a great afternoon of fun with your boys. Of course, the Caps official mascot Slapshot will be there, the Red Rockers, and members of our crew.
I wouldn't miss it. It was so cool last time to hang out there.
And the great thing about the Charity Hockey Classic, all proceeds go to the Children's National Healthcare. They actually don't have the name of the place here.
That's what they call it now.
Yeah, Children's National?
That's what it's called.
Okay, it goes to Children's National and improves the health of children all around the world. So you can't beat that. Again, the date is the 25th of this month, October, and we will be there at 11:30 a.m.
Awesome. Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you.
Hey there, this is Katie, and I would love it if you listen to the Cake and Cookies Show. No, really, please listen. I need an actual reason for spending all this time with Rob. Nobody really wants to spend time with Rob, but I'm fun enough for both of us. Listen to Cake and Cookies. You'll love half of it. My half. Every Wednesday at MikeO'MaraShow.com, part of the More Network.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Really, I was aware of razor blades being expensive before we had Harry's on the Mike O'Mara Show, but I really tuned into it after we had this wonderful company join us. We're talking about Harry's.com, and the fact is razor blades in the drugstore cost a fortune until now. Enter Harry's. They make their own blades in their own German factory. They are crafted by shaving experts. The result are blades that do well for your face and do well for your pocketbook as well. On average, you're going to save $150 a year just by using Harry's instead of other lousy blades. Plus, Harry's has free shipping. What's not to like? I adore this company. I'll tell you what I like. I know Rob shaves his head. He's
Mike, I
pointing at
wish
his
you
head
could
right
come
now.
and touch my dome right now. It
I
feels
wish I could.
marvelous.
Thank you. Yeah, the fact is that you have turned this company into something very special for the Mike O'Mara Show, and I appreciate everybody sharing with me their stories about getting their blades and showing me their pictures when they arrive, and then reporting on how much they enjoy them, and you're enjoying it while you're saving money at the same time. Harry's got a couple of new products for you. Harry's Foaming Shave Gel. It protects your face as you shave. No more nicks or razor bumps. And Harry's Aftershave Moisturizer, locking in the moisture after you shave so you feel fresh all day. Go to Harry's.com now. Harry's will give you $5 off your first order. Just type in our code TMOS. That's HARRYS.com and enter coupon code TMOS at checkout for this limited time offer and change the way you shave forever.
The best.
Okay, some thoughts about what everybody seems to be talking about every day more and more, and that is this Ebola virus.
Ebola.
Very, very scary. Very scary, and scary to the level where it seemed like it was a week ago where everybody was talking about this, saying, yeah, it's very dangerous over in Africa. People are getting it over it, but there's nothing to worry about here. And then our system started breaking down ever so slightly, and now we have individuals that have come into this country, and they are being treated at hospitals in the United States. And now, today, the very latest is they are talking about protocols for screening people coming into the country. And all I have to say again is, does it not seem like we are behind again and reacting again? And it's very, very frustrating,
because
isn't it?
we're cocky. We're America. It can't get us. We're America.
Right.
And the fact is that we knew the danger inherent in this disease. We've seen it.
Yes.
And the fact
Been around forever.
that if the fact that we didn't have these protocols in place 7 days ago, or the first moment we knew that people could be coming in, that's just plain stupid.
It is. It's reactionary. I'll say, though, for the gentleman who's fighting for his life right now in Texas,
right?
It's twofold. And if you're not aware of this, basically they've tracked his whereabouts in Liberia. He was there. He was in his little hamlet that he was staying in. Someone was sick, and they were crying for help. Nobody was helping. The person turned out to be a pregnant lady. He ended up helping the young lady that was there with her brother. The pregnant young lady needed to go to the hospital. He hired a car to go help her find some help for what she was going through. They traveled to 4 different hospitals.
He's being a good Samaritan.
Traveled to 4 different hospitals in the area. Nobody would take her. Ended up going back home, putting her back in her place. She died 2 days later. The brother died 3 or 4 days after that, and he was exposed. And 5 days after that, he, for whatever reason, if he thought maybe he could get into the States and then get the proper care he'd like, it's clearly where he was, people weren't getting help.
Right.
To save his own life, he comes to the States. And the one thing I can't forgive him, and why I think he should be prosecuted to the furthest extent of the law, is that when he initially went to the hospital, instead of saying, hey, I have a problem, this is what happened to me, and not letting the nurse or the doctor or whoever saw him just give him antibiotics to go home, he should have copped and said, I was in Liberia. I was exposed to Ebola. You got to incubate me right now. You got to seal this off. This is a big situation.
Yeah.
So
here's the
scary
part.
Home, the fact that he went home with antibiotics is BS. He should.
Yeah, and because it should have been protocol in every hospital in the world. I talked about popping in the other day to the old Mayo clinic here, the mayonnaise clinic.
Yes.
And I believe they asked me some questions regarding travel outside of. Have you traveled outside of the United States?
Oh, it's standard procedure. People will ask.
So they did that now,
regardless,
but I don't remember them asking that specific question.
Oh, they do to the brown man whenever he goes to the hospital.
Wow. Just one guy?
Yeah,
this
because
guy?
they figured I just came off FOB off the boat. No, but Mike, I'm not blaming just the hospital. I'm blaming him. The
and
individual.
You know what? If you were,
the guy because he's trying to get out.
Because he went home. He went home
Right.
after the antibiotics were prescribed.
But here's
to him.
the thing that troubles me about it is he knew he was exposed.
Yes.
And he knew, I mean, it's not been like something that you need to go to page 9 of the paper to find it.
No.
This is front page news. Why wouldn't he want them to know everything so he could get the proper care?
How about you get off the plane, you're already in this country, they're not going to turn you away, you go to a hospital and say, this is the situation.
Right away. I
Yes.
mean, you have to be stupid to think antibiotics is even going to help him.
And
let me
it's
give you the
tragic.
story real quick here. It says the Obama administration is talking about ramping up screening of travelers who come from Ebola-infected countries. Many Americans are concerned that the virus may spread now that a patient has been diagnosed in Dallas. Let me see. They are talking about adding CDC, Centers for Disease Control, staffers at 4 airports: JFK in New York, Newark in New Jersey, Chicago, and Washington Dulles.
John
where
Foster
I was
Dulles,
just
yeah.
this past
Big
weekend.
ports.
They're going to question travelers about where they've been, and they're going to take their temperatures. I have been in the broadcast business for 30 years, and I have never said take your time. Of course, all of them rectally.
Of course.
That's the way
And
it's going to be done.
They're going to buy all the thermometers, Mike, at Hudson News, and they're going to meet them at the concourse, and they're just going to
Maybe
say,
I could call the CDC and use my Gene Simmons voice and ask if I could be a volunteer. Hi, this is Gene Simmons. I'm wondering if there's any way you would need some volunteer temperature takers. I'd be happy to.
Gene, you can do it, but you have to show up
my
in
services.
full makeup. full kiss makeup, and we'll see you. You'll have to take that motorized coach over to Gate C, and you can greet everybody.
Welcome to Dulles International Airport. Listen, line A, you're going to be. Would you please go over to Gene Simmons? He's over in line A, and he will be taking your temperature. In line B, if you will look over there, there is DJ Batman.
All right.
He will be taking your temperature over there on the other side. All right.
And Mike, in the third line is Alice Cooper with a tongue depressor. And everybody, we're not gonna let Ebola get this country on the run.
So they're going to go out to our airport, which is Dulles. They're going to question travelers about where they've been, and they're going to take their temperatures. A fever can be one of the first symptoms of Ebola. Yeah, you think? Okay, I think we all know that by now.
Sure.
Although it's also a symptom of malaria, influenza, and many other infections. The administration says it does not support blocking flights from West Africa, in part because affected countries screen travelers on the way out. And there's also a troublesome idea of if you block flights, if you essentially quarantine these countries, the medical professionals and the medical equipment and the medicine that needs to get in there cannot get in there, and you could exacerbate the problem, and it would be perhaps more of a world issue than it is
Mike,
now.
When I went through immigration and customs in China, in Beijing.
Right. It was about a year ago?
Yeah, about a year ago. They have what looks to be, imagine the front of the kit, the Knight Rider kit from, the car from Knight Rider, the show.
Voiced by William Daniels, Mike.
But imagine that as a big bar across kind of like a threshold that you walk through.
Okay.
They had that and 3 cameras on every individual to measure your body temperature just as you were walking into customs.
Did you find that the
prevent a pandemic and epidemic?
I looked back and you saw everybody walking through like the Predator, and I said, okay, at least they got their ass together. I've never seen that in a U.S. airport ever.
Did the temperature rise when Todd got in it?
Oh yeah, it was hot.
Yeah,
and fuego on fire. It was all red.
So this is what I
Come
wrote
through
in
customs. Excuse me.
I wrote this.
Healthy.
Are we being too arrogant regarding Ebola, or are we being just the way we are, which is kind of like it doesn't really matter until it's in my kid's school.
Yeah, NIMBY, Mike.
Seems the way we seem to react to everything like that.
But you know what? This time, I do believe the media has part of it because we were sort of given the soft sell all along. And this is on the heels of the 2 people that were cured.
I don't mean to interrupt you, Rob, but I think
right.
we were given the soft sell by the experts. Because I remember last week. Now, listen, and the soft sell hasn't changed. I think that they are saying that we have the capability of containing this, and that the odds of an outbreak in the United States are very unlikely.
Sure.
At the same time, when you hear today talk of ramping up screening of travelers, well, they weren't talking about this a week ago, and they damn well should have been.
I'm afraid of the terrorists, to be quite frank with you, that if they saw how easy it was to get through with that, imagine if they just took a bunch of them and said, go get infected and roll on over to the States.
It's like the equivalent. It's a modern-day equivalent of a chickenpox
shut
party.
Shut down the airport.
Yeah.
That's
Go
what
in
I
there
say.
and sneeze.
I mean, I'm on. That's an
You mean if
honest
the terrorist did it?
No, I'm worried.
At the wedding.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I apologize.
Sorry,
Sorry
I'm
about
worried
that.
about these freedom fighters coming over here and being like, this is another way to get into the population.
This is the shoe bomber times 50.
Yeah.
This is
So you mean to tell me that if the terrorists would grab a bunch of people with the Ebola virus?
No,
and just
they would send
them
their
to
people,
puke on everybody,
their
or what?
blind followers, and get them sick, and then get them into the country.
Especially if they're blind, because they're going to need assistance in the airport.
That's where this mind is at.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is why I don't care for Mehmet Oz, because Mehmet Oz said something that I have been thinking about ever since he said it, and it might be complete and total BS, but at the same time, it might be. Look, he is a doctor, and he said his greatest fear. This is what he said.
The
mutation of the virus. Have you talked to your dad about it?
Yes.
Have you talked to your dad about
and he slapped his knee.
Really?
He was laughing about it. He said, yes, that is possible. But don't you think that would have happened by now in Liberia? Like
that it would have gone
airborne? It would
airborne?
have gone airborne by now in Liberia.
And Mehmet's biggest fear is actually
I don't know anything about
cancellation.
infectious diseases. So
Yeah. Well, no, but you shouldn't. I don't. I mean, that's why I talked to him for 30 minutes, and he's like, no, you have to understand. And he's right. The states the reason why epidemics happen in these third world countries is because they don't have the facilities to contain and treat.
Right.
They
And
just
when I
don't
said
have
pandemic, I spoke incorrectly. A pandemic is a worldwide epidemic,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, well,
that's a pandemic.
the
So
bird
An
it's China-
epidemic is what? Just one city?
Epidemic is, I think epidemic
regional.
is in a country.
Okay.
In-
All right.
in-
So
in
a
in
pandemic,
particular country.
the bird flu was a pandemic. It reached all the continents.
Right. Okay. I'm with you.
But we're talking about an epidemic, which now is in West Africa, and it's here in the States. But we have the facilities to treat, and we have the resources to do so.
So you're confident.
I'm confident. I was even confident when they declared a false alarm in Howard University Hospital this past weekend in D.C., where they said they had a student from Nigeria and that was exhibiting Ebola symptoms. And I said, it's a little early to call it Ebola.
Yeah, it's a fever.
I mean, come on, let's put that together. Just because the guy's from Nigeria, let's
But there's
settle
going to
down.
be. But at the same time, we can all agree that one emergency room down in Dallas, they have to get their act together. If you are a
Yes.
medical professional and you're working in an ER, you're
Everybody
working in
needs to.
any healthcare facility, you more than anybody else have to be aware of the right questions to
And
ask, like where do you come from and do you have a
It's
fever? for
also
Christ's sake?
important to get out of any of the years you've ever gotten it to get the flu shot this year because you don't want this false positive
False symptoms.
of the more people that get the flu shot that don't get sick this season, the better that these healthcare administrators
it.
can actually track what's going on.
I actually got my flu shot already. I got it on Amazon.
Oh, nice!
And I'm okay because
Show up
I'm
in a
already
drone?
quarantined down here in South Florida.
You have to get out of everybody the flu shot.
Exactly.
I've been quarantined down in South Florida since April. Anyway, we'll take a break and come back with more fun and more thrills on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Get it.
One of the things great about getting new advertisers on the Mike O'Mara Show is giving you, our listeners, the opportunity to save a tremendous amount of money. And I'm here to give you another opportunity to do that. If you need to get your home ready for family and friends with new window treatments, Blinds.com. Blinds.com offers all the top names to make your windows look their best, and they offer free samples so there's no guesswork. Blinds.com has a sure fit guarantee. That means the installation is always a snap. And if you don't want to measure or install, no problem. Blinds.com can do that too. Save right now during October. You can upgrade your home with new blinds from Blinds.com, a wonderful company to deal with. You can get 15 to 20% off select designer window treatments from top brands with free cordless upgrades also. Also, Norman brand products, including their child and pet safe designer shutters, are 20% off. Plus, they have free shipping on most orders. Remember, Blinds.com offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. Give your house a gift. Be like me. Use Blinds.com. I love them, and I'm waiting. I believe the end of this week is when they
this
arrive.
week.
Oh, outstanding.
To install them.
And
Easy peasy.
I will lay myself bare by doing my own installation if I'm able to.
Oh, you
if
shall.
I'm up to
you
it.
shall.
Well,
It's a piece of cake.
well, I'm no longer solo.
Ah,
I can perhaps enlist the help of my
the
beloved bride.
able-bodied bride.
Right.
Yes,
She'll hold the
my,
ladder.
My lovely bride, who wants to come back and treat me well.
Oh, she
That's
takes
the way
over?
it is. Well, she's taking. I think I'm not. I am not the easiest sick person to deal with, and I think really this has been kind of an awakening for her.
No.
She had the month of bliss where she was away from me, and then suddenly she pops back, and we had that little issue driving down, and it's just something where I have to be mindful of that.
I had the same
truly
thing
do.
happen when I was in Los Angeles for the 5 days, almost 6 days.
Sure.
I remember I came back, and this is no knock against my lovely girlfriend Shannon, but I came back and she said, it was horrible without you in town. And I was like, that's really nice of you to say. And she's like, weren't you like missing me? I said, yeah, I missed you. But I was like, I got to be honest with you. I can't lie to you. I was like, it was awesome. Like just doing my own thing and
Very nice.
not worrying about anybody. And
Besides, there's
it was
really no
great.
room. There's really no room for one person to sleep on a landing, let alone two.
Well, there's a reason why Oscar and I butt heads. It's because he is a sensitive soul.
Yes.
And, he says the right things to make people feel
I
warm
didn't
and
want
comfortable.
to sugarcoat it. I just said, look, you're great and you're a lot of fun. But sometimes it's just easier to roll solo.
Mike, when you're really having a great time with your wife, and if I've been married a long time, and if you have too, if you add up all of your marriages.
Yes,
when you,
I have. Married most of my adult life.
Don't you want to just, the really great moments are when you go up to your wife and you say, you're a lot of fun to be with. That's what she wants to hear. You're fun to hang out with.
But it's just one less person to worry about is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well,
right?
I think what it is the amount of time that we were apart.
Yes.
That she had, there's a big difference between what Carla experienced and what I experienced. She had more human contact than I did.
Yeah.
I was, when you talk about being on your own and
you were in
just
Jackie Mason's
chilling
apartment.
I was just, here we go, doing the thing, do the show, get up every day, get on the motorcycle, ride up, and sit down and say, I'll have a fish sandwich, please.
Yeah.
That was my day. I mean, that's what I would do every day. And then it comes back and throw in the fact that I've got this, little stomach thing that I'm dealing with this week, and it gets, it got a little, I think it's a kind of a rude awakening.
And
I
also
have to
away
be
from your
mindful.
Time to
child.
make friends, man.
You gotta do a meetup. What do you call it? Meetup?
Meetup.
Got to do a meetup.
What
Meetup.
if
I got a guy was very nice and sent me a message online, and I have not responded to him yet. Thank you.
Is he a local fella down there?
Yeah, and
is he in your age range? Is he a good playmate?
Looked to be looked to be in the age range and the weight range, which is
perfect.
I mean, to me.
Who doesn't want to walk down the beach with a guy like that? Go, hi everybody. But anyway, I'm
do you
adjusting.
share common interests?
I didn't get that deep with it.
Oh,
man.
you need to. You need to.
What
if you're going to set up a play date.
What if you started your own meetup crew? Like what
would be the parameters?
He would say what he's into, right?
Yeah.
As most of you know, my parameters socially used to involve one particular thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
always stay hydrated.
That's we always stayed hydrated, and I no longer have that. Now, to be honest with you, and I'll bring it up. I wasn't planning to bring it up on today's show,
right.
but I will tell you that I have been enlisted by the parish here down to
here we go.
Now what do you now? What does here we go?
A school for
no,
mimics?
I'm not. This is
Can
This is
Can I make a guess?
social act. Go ahead.
My guess is this: is that you've been enlisted to assist with the communion, and you're going to be known as heavy poor.
No.
I heard you owned a pub, Mr. O'Mara.
That's right. Yeah. Free seconds on the first Sunday of every month.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because they do this thing when they're giving us the bread and wine, and they make a big deal about the fact that they offer non-alcoholic wine. That's what they serve there. And I would be the one that's like in a separate pocket. Somebody would come up in line, and I'd kind of wink at them and go, "Hey, check this out." No, but I'm not going to do that. The thing that I have been enlisted to do, they have a social gathering tomorrow evening, which is, and I haven't watched this TV show, so I've been asked to MC Hollywood Game Night.
Oh, that's a fun
it's
game.
a fun show.
Fun game.
Fun
Fun
show.
Now I can get I can go like to any of the services and get that.
Sure.
And check it out. But
So he's
I
going to be
don't know
like
anything
Sue from
about it.
Glee.
Wait, so you're going to play Hollywood Game Night, and you're going to
So
be
what
the
am I going to
host?
channel my inner lesbian to do that?
No,
Is that what
she's
I'm
the
gonna do?
host. She's the host. She's a great
okay,
host.
all right. Well,
So-
that was my, that's Jane Lynch, correct?
Exactly. Thank you.
Wednesday
She is
nights.
and I'm not trying to slander anybody here, but
No.
we've had so many sensitive people, but she is she's out of the closet.
she
is
is.
she not?
I mean, you and Jane
She's
Lynch,
a spokesperson for the gay community.
Yes,
Come
you
on.
both like women.
You're not
You have
saying
more
anything
similarities than
There we
differences.
go. Very good.
Let me.
Very good.
So who are the celebrities then? If you're the host,
I don't know how it's going to work.
You know what it sounds
I
like to
don't
me?
really know.
It sounds
from Pew
like to
2,
me.
we've got Chris.
Pew 2. That's a
See,
great band.
You
They're
put
Irish.
down what you do, and when you put down any kind of talk show host, and I still put down radio host because I just haven't been able to let go.
Technically, we're on
Thank you,
KCJJ.
KCJJ.
I
Yes,
think,
that's
Mike,
right.
this is what's going to happen. They are going to have like the home game of Hollywood Game Night, like like you get it at the board game, and it will just be questions.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
And then they'll have one couch of one team and one
For
couch
the love
of
of
another
God,
team,
it's something we do on the show.
and you
right?
will be the host.
Yes.
And you will excel.
Oh my God!
It'll be great. You know what? You have found
But
a
if you're-
niche in your
Yes.
church where you
Right.
can
Yes.
Mike, let your star shine brightly.
The auctions
not
are right
going-
around the
look,
corner.
I
This
don't
is a
wanna-
warm up for the auctions,
Or the
you know.
talent shows when the
I
kid
don't
gets
wanna-
into school.
I don't want to diminish God, but I will also
gee,
tell
That's
you
Dean.
that
very, very good
How
of you,
dare
Mike.
I don't-
you?
I
know
don't
a
wanna
lot of
diminish
people
God.
say you don't have
Thank
any
you.
good qualities, but
Right.
that's a great one. Not
don't
wanting
wanna-
to diminish our Lord
Right.
and Savior.
I don't want to diminish God, but I also want to say that a part of this is also community and, knowing some nice people. And we thought that would be something fun.
It's important
And,
to make
so
friends,
it-
Mike. I'm
it's-
glad you're finding them.
Do you have any shtick planned?
Yeah.
You need
Man, how fucking hot was it outside?
Don't do that. They're not going to like that.
Jesus.
Don't say that either.
No, I won't. I'm not.
Do you want
planning
some?
on saying
Do you want some game show music I can send you?
Oh my God! Full production.
Yes.
No. Thank you.
Soundboard.
You bring in your PA, set it up.
Yep.
No.
Get the
Oh,
mic.
no. My PA that I have down here. I don't have a PA down here. We got.
You
Where
could.
is our PA anyway?
It's
Where
in
is
my
our
house
PA?
in the closet.
It's at your
It's in the closet.
scattered to the wind, boy. That's it.
I use it on the weekends, Mike, at my yard sale.
You have to give us a full report.
Yeah.
Rob uses it for his neighborhood yard sale. every single week. That's what he's about. Yeah. That's what you're into, Rob.
I set
I'm
up
getting that
on my
together.
yard. You see, my yard is about the size of the iPhone 6 Plus. It's just a tiny yard. I can put out one or two
You
items.
stand on the speaker.
And I say, hello.
Hello.
Exactly. And, I sell. That's how I make ends meet.
Who's in for Hollywood game night?
And Mike, it
I'll
really
meet you at
isn't.
the chapel.
It's not Hollywood game night. It would be a Florida game night.
Oh, no. How about this? Holywood game night.
Ah!
Yeah.
Now you're talking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We are not hearing that.
Hollywood. It's not a
Hollywood?
connection problem. Mike.
I get it.
Did you kick out the plug? Be honest. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Big win. Reset it. I think we lost them all the way.
I'm resetting. No, what happened?
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
God damn it! All right. I have one piece of equipment down here.
Yes.
Right.
I have one piece of equipment down here that is the cheapest, crappiest piece of equipment I have. And what it does is I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, and the lights are all on. It's ready to
It's
go.
buggy.
The
It's
only
your voice
problem
changing machine.
No, this is the only one, and it does that. And if I haven't used it for a long time, which I hadn't, it has to be
Reset.
unplugged and plugged back
Yeah,
in.
that
I should
stinks
always
about
be.
that
You'll want to
mindful
check it
of
before you
that.
start hosting the game show. Be when you
Hollywood. I'm not bringing anything like
Hollywood.
that.
Hollywood game night.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Yes.
I am not bringing anything like that.
Where's
to,
Noah? He's always
Hollywood
late.
games.
That's right. Hey, you know what would be great? Prizes. Nothing
Oh,
huge.
yes.
Hi,
Just a
everybody. I'm Rob Spiewak. It's great to be with you. I'm really excited here. And, oh, hey, Mrs. Johnson. That's great. What a lovely table. You ought to get a lot of money for that. Welcome to the Spiewak's yard. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike O'Mara. Welcome to Hollywood Game Night. God, this is great. All right, thank you.
What's your pastor's name?
Yeah, what's the name of the pastor? He
I'd
could be the
rather
announcer.
I'd rather not say.
Just give
I'd
us a
rather
fake
not
name
say.
then.
I'd rather not. Huh?
Give us a fake
Father
name.
Rincentola.
Oh, come on.
Monsignor Jughead was here.
No, well, you said give us a fake name. I gave you a fake
Yeah,
name.
something more realistic.
Father Bob.
How
Father
about
Bob.
from hey, my favorite name for a priest in
Yeah.
the movie The Exorcist? All right. Relax, Father Paranoia. Who was that actor, Rob? Who was that? Was it Lee J. Cobb?
I believe it was. Excellent
Relax.
ball.
Relax, Father Paranoia.
What's the timing for this affair, the soiree?
It goes
6
from
o'clock
5
out of
till
there.
midnight.
6 o'clock out of there at 7:30.
Oh,
and
wow,
a dinner
that's
and a
quick.
dinner thrown in and childcare on the premises.
Ah,
at
big
the
win,
nursery.
big
At the
win.
nursery at the
You're going to be like a swinging D over
Yo,
there.
you're gonna be a big deal.
By the time we get down there, you'll be running things.
Yeah.
It's no, I don't want that. Here, part of me, you guys know this.
Yeah.
You know when you say that you do what we do.
Yes.
You know that it's not long before people are going to
They put the
talk
touch
to
on you. Yeah.
about that and put the touch. It's not put the touch
It
on
is.
you.
It is. It
It's-
happened to me at back to school night. The
Right.
lousy chorus teacher has me in there with 40 parents, and she says, "And we, of course, have the assembly coming up and our talent show, and I'm sure Mr. Spiewak will love to host that again." And
I
it's-
know.
and you have to say yes. So what you
Yeah.
have to have, Mike,
I'm
is
gonna
strong
be the
material.
dick dad.
So what you'll do is you'll say, "Welcome to Hollywood Game Night. I want you to name something you use in the bedroom to enhance sexual performance."
Ah.
Top
You
5
are so
answers on the
sick.
board.
That
Name
is
the
not gonna
Stations of the Cross.
I am not going to do that. No, and now see you're getting me in trouble,
Spell
and it's going to be very
stigmata.
uncomfortable. I think it's going to be wonderful.
Stigmata.
It's not. You're turning it into Catholicism, and it's not. You know,
Hey,
it's a
I'm
little
sorry.
more-
I'm
It's
sorry.
a word.
Apologize,
It's a real
apologize.
word, man.
Which,
Man.
Hey man.
how many pipes are in the organ?
Hey man.
How are you, man? Fantastic, man.
Which
All right.
Simpsons character do you
I
love
don't
the
play.
most?
Hey, how you doing? Okay, Peter and Paul. I don't play Hollywood Game Night that way, man. That's the way I believe.
That's not how I roll, man.
Speaking of
Where's
holy
the North
women,
Star?
I have to ask Rob about Carrie.
Yes.
So Carrie Spiewak, who
Yeah, it's over.
occasionally will shock me with just what she does online. Sometimes
it goes back.
It's
goes back.
always hateful and negative. It's
Well,
always,
it goes back to something that wasn't all that hateful, but it really upset you. It was an old video of a very windy day and ducklings. You know how ducklings walk in a row? A mother was leading her ducklings. The wind blew.
That's ducklings, Rob. Ducklings.
Ducklings. The ducklings were blown away. I mean, quite literally.
Yeah, it
they
was
were
a windy day.
and they were rolling and everything.
Okay. So Carrie posted this, and I said, "This is not normal behavior for a woman. This is not normal.
She
This
should
is
say,
your
"Oh."
average. Your average woman would be kind of like, oh, look at the little cute puppies, aren't they wonderful?" Carrie is just adoring this picture of these baby ducklings getting
Blowing
blown
away.
to oblivion.
And the comment, I believe, was ha 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 ha
Bah, ha, 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 ha.
And she
So-
took great delight in the fact that this not only it caught your eye, but that it upset you. So when she found this most current video, she said,
she was playing me a little bit.
well, she likes the fact that it bothers you. And let me explain what the video
Oh,
is.
you mean this was by design?
Absolutely.
I fell right into her trap.
You did. Did she tag you
Oh
in it?
my!
I think
she tagged me in a post.
Yeah.
Here's the latest one, Oscar. Now Rob, settle
love
down for a
this.
second.
All right.
Let me tell this story. So online, Carrie tags me in this post, and this post has I've seen the squirrel bungee videos before, and normally the squirrel bungee videos are they attach a bungee cord to a squirrel and they put a little piece of peanut butter or a nut or whatever they put in there, and they put some food in there, and the squirrel comes into the center of the bungee cord and it's launched up into the air.
Right.
And as scary as it might be for the squirrel lands and goes running away and everything's fine.
Stock footage.
The
Some of them
Spiewak,
don't walk away.
the Carrie Spiewak video
Yes.
is a different bungee system.
Oh.
It's actually spring-loaded, Mike.
It's spring-loaded, and it looks as though it's a paddleboard that is sitting there with a 2x4 on one side and a 2x4 on the other side, and it goes out sideways. So when the poor, defenseless animal goes into the trap, the spring releases, hurling the squirrel at lightning speed into the tree line.
It almost disappears. It moves faster than you can follow it.
That
It's
is-
fantastic.
That is not cool.
It's not cool.
No, well,
at all.
Mike, those are vermin. Those are essentially rats.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're
So do
all
you have a-
God's creatures.
Well, we're not at Hollywood Game Night. Let's talk
No,
real.
but I agree. Like, I think
what if
that's
it was a
horrible.
launcher for a rat?
She's a sick woman, Rob. You've got to get her some treatment.
No, that's the last thing she needs. We're just starting to get the medicine balanced. Let's not mess with it.
Getting the right mix of meds is okay.
She
Does
almost
Carrie,
fell down last night. Did you see the boxing kangaroos?
I did see that.
That's
She loved the boxing
fantastic.
kangaroos.
She said, I heard from the other room. I heard, you gotta come here. You gotta
Now-
come here.
Now, the boxing kangaroos, that was on the Today Show this morning.
Right.
And it's a viral video of two kangaroos boxing.
Yeah.
But I will also say the real animal lovers won't really like that.
No.
If you've got a little of that in you. So, Carrie, how does she react around the dog? Does she just tolerate the dog?
She has this thing she does with Linus, which is weird, but we've gotten used to it. She takes a lit cigarette, and she no.
Come on. Answer the question. I'm asking
She is
legitimately
extraordinarily sweet and protective of Linus. She takes great care of him. She's a wonderful animal lover, and Linus is her favorite
here.
as
Well, wait,
well.
no, she's not a wonderful animal
She
lover.
is in real
I
life.
have now
The video
seen
is different. It's
ducklings
She's just goading you. I'm
blown
sure.
away. I've seen a squirrel murdered
Mike, you were
with
talking
a
about
catapult.
how you wanted to go see The Conjuring. That doesn't make you a murderer.
And
That's
boxing.
something on video.
So but it just, do you not think that it's a little odd that she finds such great joy? You know, this is the darker side of the Spiewaks. This is what people don't. The happy joy. Rob and Carrie, la la la, everything's wonderful. When in effect they're sitting there laughing. The Schadenfreude that comes out of that
Well,
house.
the
is-
yin and yang.
Yes.
Typically, you've got that black side. It's
Sure.
just really like maroon, purple, dark.
Yeah, it's like Lois Lane's hair.
That's Carrie.
It's so black, it's almost blue.
Yeah, you're
Mike.
the white
It's
guy.
horrible. Yeah.
You're
I
just
mean,
you're
really-
just happy, go, joy.
Who's to know that if you really went deep into Carrie's computer, you might find some of those little crush videos. You
Oh,
know?
you don't have to go that deep.
People like-
It's on our homepage.
That's wonderful. Very good.
Click
We
about
will
on
come
her
back.
Facebook page. It's right there.
News you may not need coming up next on the Mike O'Mara Show. And Carrie, keep sending those videos, baby. That sound can mean only one thing, friends. It's Cat 2014, the Mike O'Mara Show live. We are returning to the Mandalay Ballroom at the Circus Hotel and Casino in scenic, beautiful Reno, Nevada. Saturday, November 15th at 8 p.m. The whole gang is going to be there. Rob, Oscar, me, everybody. Get your tickets by calling the Circus box office at 800-648-5010. That's 800-648-5010. All the information you need, my friends, is at our website, MikeO'MaraShow.com, for Cat 2014. The Mike O'Mara Show Live. We'll see you there. Attention, Sacramento people. We want you to get the word out about Cat 2014. The odd thing is we're getting a lot of response from the Reno area. Sacramento, we want you to get the word out. So I know we've got a lot of passionate people that are coming over from Sacramento that are coming to Cat 2014, but I want to make sure that you get the word out to your friends.
And bring a friend.
Anything you can do to assist us. This is the way it always goes with the live shows. The first two, we don't worry about it. The second two, always a little tougher. So the fact is, we need your help. Please pass the word along about the fact that we're doing a live show in Reno on November 15th. Still have plenty of time. We want to sell as many of these tickets as we possibly can.
So much special planned, and we'll start divulging that this week.
We had a great meeting. It's an all-new show. We're doing stuff we've never done before. It's going to be great.
A lot of fun. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Sleep Number. Listen to me. I love my Sleep Number bed. I have one. My mom has one. I love it. We love it. You will, too. See, every Sleep Number bed is available with Sleep IQ technology. The Sleep IQ uses sensors with the dual air system in the bed to track and optimize your sleep, and it gives you the best night's sleep ever. There's nothing to wear, nothing to turn on. You just sleep. It couldn't be any easier. I've never slept better in my life. I don't exaggerate. I mean it. And it also helped my back pain enormously. I love this thing. My Sleep Number setting is an 80. Carla's is an 85. You can't afford another restless night's sleep, but you can afford a Sleep Number bed. Right now, during their Columbus Day sale, save $400 on the most popular Sleep Number bed, the lowest price ever. No better sleep. Find your Sleep Number setting today at any of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find one near you by calling 800-511-0061. That number again is 800-511-0061, and make sure that you tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you.
News.
Boo. News.
That's the first day I've gotten it right.
I love that guy. News.
It's always exciting, isn't it?
It is.
News.
Boo.
All right. Modern Family actress Sarah Hyland's ex-boyfriend has been ordered to stay away from the actress and not contact her for, it's a pretty good restraining order, 3 years.
Good.
Wow.
Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Andrea Thompson granted Hyland the protection from actor Matt Prokop on Thursday. Hearing on Hyland's request for a stay-away order had been scheduled for Friday, but Prokop did not contest the order. Well, that's good for him, at least. At least he's doing that. A hearing is going to keep him away from her for 3 years. Hyland didn't report the incidents to police, and Prokop has not been criminally charged. He co-starred with her in the TV movie Geek Charming. Are you familiar with that one?
Sounds like it might be a
Geek
made-for-MTV
Charming.
movie.
I think Disney.
Disney?
I guess he was on one episode of Modern Family. He also appeared in High School Musical 3.
Yeah.
So this
3?
guy's an actor as well, but
it really wasn't up to the level of the first two High School Musicals, Mike. A lot of us didn't watch 3.
We heard last week that George Clooney and Amal Alamuddin were honeymooning in the Seychelles off the coast of Africa. We never found out if they actually went there, but it sounds like they're not there anymore. The British tabloids say George and Amal are currently at a house in London that he bought for her as a wedding present.
So that's a nice gift.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, money. They want to raise a family there, and it sounds like that's exactly what they're trying to do.
In London?
Yeah, I think that's where they're planning on. Well, what's the
Clune
matter?
Dog.
You're not-
I want to see Clune Dog in the streets of the USA.
Clune Dog.
No, they're going to raise their children British. He can't walk the streets of the United States, but he can live comfortably and quite well in the United
He
Kingdom.
does spend most of his time in Italy, so I guess he's used to Europe.
A source says, quote, the fact that they have barely left the house so far, other than to walk the dog, implies that they're keen to get cracking on having a family.
Really,
Isn't
that described
wonderful?
you last month, Mike.
I barely left the house. Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson is due in court tomorrow to face those child abuse charges. This gets worse for Adrian Peterson. The Minneapolis Star-Tribune claims Adrian engaged in a hotel orgy in 2011.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
There were 4 women. Thank you, Oscar. Send letters to Oscar Santana.
I'm just saying it's not child abuse.
Santana. That's right.
There were 4 women in the room with him, plus 2 relatives, including a brother who was a minor at the time.
Oh, that's not okay.
No.
It gets worse. One of the family members claims Adrian paid for the night of drinking and sex with a credit card tied to his charity.
The takeaway here is, Oscar, don't comment until Mike gets all the details out.
The orgy part, people will be upset about that. I'm just saying, hey.
And to be clear, this minor, he was young. Now, he didn't have a hat with a light on it, right?
Hold on. Would you like to know what charity, what the charity's supposed to do?
Yes.
It's supposed to help at-risk children.
Oh, God.
It's unclear.
The irony is sure thick in this room right now.
How old's the minor?
It's unclear if he was in the habit of regularly stealing from his charity or if this was just a one-time mistake. The Star-Tribune says it's hard to connect the dots because the charity's financial bookkeeping is a total mess. On top of that, some of the groups that Adrian's charity says it gave money to are denying that they received any cash. This is not looking good.
No, it's funny that you should mention it, Mike. One of the games they played in the orgy was Connect the Dots.
Adrian and his people have not yet commented on this particular report, so we'll keep you
That's
on
like
that.
the devil's threesome.
It's a little tough.
That's too many dudes.
Yeah, too many. Yeah, very nasty.
Right?
Very
the math
nasty.
is off. Way off.
One thing you can't say about Shia LaBeouf is that he doesn't throw himself all the way into a part. That includes Fury, the upcoming World War II movie with Brad Pitt. According to co-star Logan Lerman, the cuts on Shia's face in the movie are real because he didn't think his makeup was cutting it.
So
Logan
to
says, yes. Logan says, quote, we were in makeup and they were putting cuts on Shia, and I said, yeah, it looks good. And Shia was like, no, it doesn't look real. Then he walks out into the hallway and says, hey, man, want to see something fun? Check this out. And he takes out a knife and he cuts his face. And for the whole movie, he kept opening these cuts on his face. It's all real. Now, listen, you know that cutting is part of a – I don't know if you want to overthink this or what with Shia LaBeouf.
You got to check his iPod.
No,
See what kind of songs are playing.
I think the kind of thing we need to think about is this is the second time in 2 weeks that a positive spin has come out from Shia LaBeouf. I think producers of this movie are trying to reinvent this guy.
Well, hopefully.
Well, it's not the only suffering Shia has done for the role. Last year, he had a dentist remove one of his front teeth. There is a picture of that on Twitter.
I've done
check
that.
It out. There you go. According to a recent study out of Cornell, where you sit in a restaurant can actually affect how much you eat. Researchers observed 27 different restaurants across the country. Here are 4 things that can subconsciously make you eat less and eat healthier.
Okay.
I hate crap like this, but I have to share it with you. Pick a table that's well lit. It's not clear why, but they noticed that if you sit in a dark section of a restaurant, you tend to eat more.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think that's valid,
Yeah.
Number 2, sit close to the door. For whatever reason, people who sat at the farthest from the door ate the fewest salads, and they were 73%
you're hiding.
Yeah.
more likely to order dessert. Number 3, sit at a table, not at a booth. People who sat at booths ordered fattier foods and ate more. That doesn't make sense because it would seem to me that people that can't fit into booths would sit at a table.
Yeah, there's a certain dividing line there.
Though you've got
Rob and I would never have experienced that, though.
Well, if you got from a skinnier man's perspective, you don't have people judging what you eat if you're at an open table.
That's true. And I know that Carrie's not in the habit of going into a restaurant and saying, can we have a table, please, for 2?
Number 4, don't sit facing a television. Just like when you're at home, watching TV can cause mindless eating, and the researchers found that the closer someone was to a TV, the more they ate. So there it is.
This makes sense.
Present. That's why you can kill a whole bag of chips even if you're not like a fat guy.
Right.
You can kill a whole bag of chips and realize, like, what the F just happened if you're watching a game or you're watching a movie.
Or if you're watching chips.
In case you were wondering if parents had gotten any less insane about their kids on sports teams, no, they have not. After a youth football game in Toms River, Jersey on Sunday, one of the coaches announced to the kids and the parents that he was canceling the rest of the season.
Toms River is right outside Seaside Heights where they shoot the Jersey Shore.
Well, they did shoot.
And
they did shoot it.
You know, when you go to AC, you drive through Toms River.
Of course,
I think, right? He announced to the kids and the parents he was canceling the season because of bad attitudes and poor sportsmanship on the part of the players.
That's right.
And if you're wondering if he was right and where they got those attitudes, listen to this. One kid's dad was so furious about the announcement. His name was 46-year-old Joseph Olsky. He ran onto the field, tackled the coach, and started fighting with him until the other parents could pull him apart.
Oh, my God.
Joseph was arrested for simple assault. That's all the information I have on that particular story, but you see a story like that and you say to yourself, oh, well, you know.
Those coaches get paid dick, too. They get nothing.
But you're also coming out and saying, okay, we're all done. Instead of managing the bad attitudes on the team, I might be a little upset if I was a parent, but I wouldn't tackle the coach.
Yeah.
That seems like a bad idea.
That is not the best result. You really can't punish the kids that way.
Fair.
And a little something. A 23-year-old guy named Jason Garnett of North Yorkshire, England, woke up last Friday with some morning wood.
Sure.
And it wouldn't go away. He went to his job at a hotel, took an ice bath. He tried taking care of it the other way. Nothing worked. Jason was diagnosed with priapism. You've heard of that on the Viagra commercials. It's a condition where it just won't go away, and it can cause permanent damage if it's not treated. The doctors treated Jason by drainage. That's all I'm going to say, and I'll say one other thing.
What's that?
2 pints.
Oh, God, that is so gross.
Good for him.
And then they gave him injections right into the affected area.
Oh.
Yeah, the combo did finally make it recede, but after 17 hours.
Oh,
he had this for 17 hours. He said he's recovering and feels fine now, but, quote, it looks like it's been through a war.
Oh.
So... And that's a raging war.
He's got a lucky or unlucky girlfriend.
Yeah.
Hard-fought war. Who was the hero of that war?
Who, Mike?
Major Woody. Come on! All right, we're going to take a break. Come back with the Audio Vault and Rob Spiewak right here on the Michael Mara Show.
Hey folks, Mickey Coachella here, and I would like to invite you guys to listen to my podcast, It's Mickey, and if you like to listen to fast-paced talk, occasional disagreements, and just all-around interesting stories, I think we're the right show for you. We can be heard right here on the More Broadcasting Network, or you can just go to itsmickey.com, that's ITSMICKEY.com. So give us a listen and join in on the fun. If nothing else, you'll love laughing at what a moron I can be. That's itsmickey.com, and It's Mickey on iTunes.
Thank you, Mickey. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Stamps.com. I love the feeling I get when I get on my laptop, click on my mouse, and boom, things are done. It's a miracle of the modern age. And now you can get all your mailing and shipping done with one click. You don't even have to leave your desk, all thanks to Stamps.com. I'm talking about you, home business owner.
Right.
I'm talking about you, office worker. Stamps.com turns your PC or Mac into your own personal post office that never closes.
Boom, bam.
With Stamps.com, you can buy and print official U.S. postage with your own computer and print it out, stick it on, then hand it to your mailman. That's the easiest way to do it. We use Stamps.com all the time. You should, too. You'll never have to go to the post office again. Act now for a 30-day free, no-risk trial and $110 bonus offer, including a free digital scale and up to $55 in free postage. Just go to Stamps.com and click on the microphone and use our code, TMOS. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone, use the code TMOS. Stamps.com and TMOS, we thank you. Without further ado, let's open up the Audio Vault. Running a little bit late today for October 7th, 2014. Rob Spiewak.
I want to applaud you, Mike O'Mara. You're holding up rather well, even with the passing of Jeffrey Holder.
Oh, this is a cola nut? That guy?
That guy. He was 84, and he did, most likely, you remember him from the 7-Up commercials. From many, many years ago.
No.
And you don't remember it?
No, I don't.
I think.
Do you have any of Jeffrey Holder?
I think, and he had a storied career. He was 84, and pneumonia took him.
There's something very special about the taste.
Oh,
of
yeah, I
7
know who you're talking about.
Unlike any other soft.
He was your neighbor, wasn't he, in Trinidad?
7 has no artificial flavor and no artificial color. Never had it, never will. And no caffeine. Never had it, never will.
Great voice, and also the narrator of the Danny Elfman Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I love his voice.
Anybody in the room ever seen Jeffrey Holder live on stage on Broadway?
Not in this room. Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What show?
I remember the show, El Grande Coca-Cola.
No.
The big Coca-Cola?
Look it up. El Grande Coca-Cola. I believe it was a Broadway play, and I think it may have been off Broadway, but I'm not sure. We went to see it with my Aunt Mary in New York, New York. El Grande Coca-Cola.
If I am not mistaken, he directed The Wiz on Broadway. He had a huge career.
Yeah.
Also, he was in Boomerang for you fans of that flick.
A guy who did not have a great performance like he did in El Grande Coca-Cola is Tony Bennett yesterday at the Nationals game. They brought him up to sing God Bless America. They do that during the 7th inning stretch. And he had a moment where he sort of cranial cramped, and I didn't know if he was going to make it through or not.
To the ocean.
Oh, wrong lyric here.
Bright with gold.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
God
bless Time to say bye-bye.
Yeah, you know what?
Number one album
Time
in the
to
country.
say bye-bye.
He can still do his studio work, but don't put him out there in the stadium.
Don't embarrass the man.
And just to prove, Mike, he does know the words.
Yeah, okay.
This is him in 2010 and 2012. He does know the words.
to the ocean. White with foam.
See, he knows how to sing. Oh, again.
To the ocean.
It's still not great.
With
And then, let's watch the decay further.
to the ocean. Bright with
Poor Tony.
Are you? Wait a minute. Are you doing something to the audio?
No, it's not manipulated at all. My hand to God. But do you remember when we used to work off reel-to-reel tape?
What are you doing?
And there was
What the hell are
something
you
called-
doing over there?
There was something called Very Speed, where you could slowly drop the tempo of something.
Yeah.
That's sort of what has happened to Mr.
Naturally.
Bennett. Yeah, naturally in 4 years.
Man.
bless America.
So painful.
My home.
Okay. All right, we get it.
Oh, let him finish.
Big finish.
right.
Big finish.
Oh,
Poor guy.
Oh, Tony.
Tomorrow, Mike, I'm going to isolate just him saying home.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rob.
Now,
God.
bless him. You know what? Isn't he great?
Yes, he is.
A treasure, right?
He's a fighter. He's a fighter.
Legend.
You guys tap me gently on the shoulder if I get to that level, all right? Mike.
See, the thing is,
Mike,
Mike
we're
will
gonna
be
take
doing
over
that.
now. We'll send you an occasional royalty.
Mike will be doing that, but the stadium will be empty. It'll just be him singing "God Bless America" in an empty ballpark.
Thank you, everybody.
Who are you?
Where's the hockey
Tony
team?
Bennett to the ocean.
Oh, you sound better than he does.
White with platinum and gold.
Let's Dateline Georgia, Mike. A
Yes.
man was growing something in his yard that the policeman said, "Oh my God, it's pot." It wasn't pot. It was okra. As you know, an essential thickening agent when you make gumbo.
And a great restaurant in Manassas, Virginia.
And I do believe this guy, as soon as they resolved his thoughts with the police, he went right out and saw Annabelle.
I was scared actually at first because I didn't know what was happening. They was strapped to the gills. Instead, it's okra and maybe a bush on the end of the house. I do the right thing. Then they come to my house strapped with weapons for no reason. It ain't right. The more I thought about it, what could have happened? I mean, anything could happen.
They asked the police to comment, Mike, and they said,
To the ocean.
What do you say if you're the law?
Actually, the police did say this.
It did have quite a number of characteristics that were similar to a cannabis plant.
Oh, my God.
Disturb them in any manner. That's not our intent.
That's not their intent, Mike. They didn't want to do that.
The man's just growing okra.
Lock his ass up. He won't be able to see Annabelle if we lock him up.
And we close not just
What
the
was that? Was that or something?
Are you on Wi-Fi again?
Yeah,
That's
are
the
you on
question.
Wi-Fi right now? You're gurgling in bed.
Okay.
That's all right. The The Redskins aren't the only ones that are having football trouble this year. God bless those New York Jets.
What are we going to do about the New York Jets? Oh, my God. They were defeated 31-0. And Roger Goodell did nothing about it.
Again.
Come on. I mean, Coach Rex Ryan is so desperate to forget the loss that today he gave himself a concussion. Native Americans were so embarrassed about the game, they're demanding that the Jets change their name.
That's your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great, what is it, Tuesday, everybody.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday, Mike.
Hey, Rob, do you have that phone number for the Circus performance? Because I don't. I don't know where to put it.
We do have the number.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's November 15th. We want to be there. Mandalay Ballroom, Circus Hotel and Casino. Be there. We would love to see you, meet you, reach out and touch you, smell your breath, all that wonderful stuff. If you want to get your tickets, Rob Spiewak, give them the number.
Tickets are now available. You got to call the box office at 1-800-648-5010. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. That's it, and we got to get out of here. One of the greatest endings to the show we have ever had, ladies and gentlemen. Little technical snafu, but hey, you know what? We gave you a great show, and it just happened at the end. We'll fix it. Promise. I promise. That's it. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara saying, so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website. Always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.